So in terms of early influence, basically it wasn't world cinema. World cinema exposure happened really in FTI. But as a kid, being from the naval background, we used to have these weekly sessions of families getting together in the club and everything. And we used to have screenings of Rishikesh Das films and a lot of Indian films, Satyajit Ray. But besides that, a lot of the world film influence came in FTI. Basically, how it all started was I wanted to be involved with the media industry in some way or the other. At that point, I wasn't really sure how, and I went on to do my mass communication course from Indraprastha College in Delhi University. During the course, I had photography as a subject, and that is what actually led me into cinematography. I did photography as a part of my course, extra classes and special courses in photography. Eventually, that led to me doing a cinematography course in FTI. Like I said, photography is where it started. When I decided to take up cinematography, I actually had nobody in the industry, I never knew anyone from the industry. So I basically started reading a lot of stuff on the internet and things like that. And then eventually my main training started at FTI. And, the interaction with your seniors, watching a lot of world cinema, the main exposure started there. But for me, my main training ground was working with my mentor, Ravi K. Chandran, who I assisted for 5 years, and I practically learned everything on the job. So I assisted Ravi K. Chandran, and I'm of the belief that my foundation comes from my training at FTI, but my growth comes from having worked with him, because there's a lot of stuff that you learn in the institute, but being able to put it forth comes with practice. And while you assist somebody, there's a lot more of exposure that you get. You work on storylines, you work on the look of the film. There's a lot more involvement in the pre-production, the post-production. So there's a lot to learn if you assist somebody. Like, I'd recommend that to anyone who comes out to like assist on a project, because you get to watch and learn a lot. My first film was with Yash Raj. I had previously worked on 2 films as an assistant in Yash Raj. One of them was directed by Adi Chopra. When Nupur Asthana was making her feature with Yash Raj, he's the one who put forward my name. So that's how it came about. Various things would influence one choosing a certain project. The first being, of course, the script, the director that's going to be leading the project. Secondly, the production house. And the reason I say that is because sometimes you work really hard on a project and it never sees the light of day. So it's important to work with a production house that you're going to put you're going to put so much hard work, and that needs to materialize at the end of the day. And lastly, the actors that are casted in the film, because sometimes they are also a reason why you may be able to grab an audience and for your own growth. You need to have a foundation. You can't just take off. You need to have a base to sort of start from. But I largely base it on. It needs to be intuitive, because you land up at a location. You may have thought of 100 things while you were reading a script. Sometimes you're limited by budget. You're limited by location. You're limited by time. So I think it's a lot of you have to work by your intuition. The latest project that I'm working on right now is Badrinath Ki Dulhania for Dharma Productions, and I've shot that film anamorphic with master anamorphic lenses. And the reason I chose to shoot anamorphic was because for this film we were shooting in varied spaces, and a lot of them were going to be cramped rooms in the houses of the lead characters, and I wanted to be able to see my character in the environment that they are in at the same time. And the scope lenses gave me that space. Daily life, mostly, and from watching films and studying books of paintings. At the moment, I'm just caught up with the post. I'm in the middle of DI for my film Badrinath Ki Dulhania. And simultaneously, I'm taking up a few ads, but not doing any feature till I finish this entirely. doing a thriller or an action film. I mean, so far I've done a lot of rom-coms, but I'm really looking forward to shooting either a thriller or a action film. My favorite so far is Waiting, which was directed by Anu Menon and has Nasruddin Shah and Kalki in the lead. The prime reason why it's one of my favorites is because we stayed absolutely true to the spaces that we were working in, and the look of the film comes from exactly where we are. Whereas, as opposed to all the other films that I've shot are rom-coms, and they get driven by a lot of other factors. I mean, how the actors need to look, and then there's a lot of color in the frame. So that gets cinematography in a rom-com gets driven by that. Whereas in Waiting, it was driven by the story primarily. Hard work and staying abreast with technology is very important. Creativity is something that's within you, but knowing your tools is also important. And assisting somebody sometimes helps, but I mean, that's really not a formula. So just work hard and stay true. I have a little baby, so there's not too many movies that I'm watching. But the book that I'm reading right now is Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Diaries, and music. There's a lot of jazz that I'm listening to at the moment, so that's what it is.